Today we're going to be testing out another Nature's Ozempic alternative. After our other Nature's Ozempic video did super well, so many of you reached out to us saying that you had another idea for us to try.
And this one's unexpected because it's actually a sweetener
that we use. And supposedly this keto-friendly sweetener affects the same GLP-1 pathway that Ozempic does. So we're going to be testing if Allulose affects us at all. Our hunger, our food noise, or maybe even the scale. That would be great because we want to lose some weight before summer. So what is Allulose? People get confused about Allulose on keto because it says right here on the package that Allulose has 4 grams of carbs per teaspoon. However, Allulose is not the same as other things. And in fact, Allulose is in its own category of sweeteners. So Allulose actually has 0 grams of net carbs.
It says it at the top of the package even. It says 4 grams total carbs minus 4 grams Allulose equals 0 net carbs.
A lot of times when you're buying keto-friendly products, you will see on the back nutritional value label that it will have like the total carb count, and underneath it will say sugar alcohols. And then you will minus out the sugar alcohols and you will get the net carb amount, right? But Allulose is its own thing. And they typically don't write Allulose underneath there minus 4 carbs. You just have to kind of do that yourself because Allulose has 0 net carbs.
Why is its own thing?
It just is. Okay. It's called a rare sugar. It naturally occurs in very small amounts in foods like figs and raisins. And it's about 70% as sweet as normal table sugar. But the thing we use it a lot for is baking because it bakes like real sugar. But I will say that some people are sensitive to Allulose.
Just like with other...
digestively.
Right. Just like other people have problems with artificial sweeteners.
I have no issue with Allulose.
My husband does.
Right. Some people have issues with monk fruit. Some people have issues with stevia. Some people have issues with erythritol.
Erythritol.
You need to find out what works for you. So if you do not have a good experience with Allulose, skip over, don't watch our video, but don't do it yourself.
Try it first before you dedicate yourself to 7 days.
Because you may get something called
bubble guts.
We call that, it just makes my stomach feel like it's churning and like bubbly. Now Allulose doesn't do that, but some sugar alcohols do that. Like Russell Stover's, whatever's in there. No.
And if you're new here, we have been doing keto pretty much for our entire adult lives, but more recently, in 2019, we lost 160 pounds combined, and we have been doing keto or low carb ever since. And we test and do experiments on our channel, and we make recipes, so subscribe.
So the way that we're gonna do this is we're gonna drink it once in the morning and then once during our meal of the day. Sarah and I typically eat one very large meal a day, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever that is. The studies that we saw, they're doing a very small amount. It's like 2 teaspoons. We're actually going to be putting it into our coffee, and this is our coffee that we've been drinking for months now. It's Everyday Dose, and they are the sponsor of this video. So for years, Sarah and my caffeine consumption has been out of control. 3, 4, or maybe even a pot of coffee every morning for years, up until we started drinking Everyday Dose. And we would feel fine and feel energized. And then by the time I got over here to start filming, I would turn into a literal creature where I would crash and get all jittery and irritable.
She said it, not me.
And to be fair, when we were younger, I feel like we tolerated caffeine way better than we do now.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to do stuff that like suits our lifestyle more now that we're 41 years old. So Everyday Dose is a functional coffee that has mushrooms in it. It says its tasting notes are chocolatey smooth and light-bodied, which we love. It has lighter caffeine, so it still gives us that morning boost, but we do not crash after we drink this, which is great. And it's also low acid, which I know is so important to you guys. A lot of you guys have said that you love Everyday Dose because it is low acid and it is gentle on your stomach. Yeah. And one of the great things is it has collagen in it, which can help with your skin, your nails, and even your hair. Our hair. The hair. I have a really hard time taking supplements in the morning, so I just want something that is integrated into my coffee, which I drink every single morning. It just makes life so much easier. So read the reviews for yourself. We're going to be leaving it linked below, and when you use our special link, you're going to get 10% off your first subscription order and like over $100 in free gifts. Just go to everydaydose.com/ketotwins and use code KETOTWINS10 at checkout.
Much more pleasant than the apple cider vinegar challenge that we were doing.
So the reason why we're doing this is because there have been some studies that show that consuming allulose can increase GLP-1 levels. It's not even something like that's that difficult to add to your routine. So why not try it, right? So many people have mentioned it. You guys are like, try allulose, right? And Sarah and I have been using allulose for years, but we've never eaten it consistently every day. You know, Sarah and I, we don't eat that many sweet things. I'm not even saying that to be like,
we're more savory people.
We are savory to our core. So it's like in the morning, I typically do not put sweetener in my coffee. So this is going to be a very interesting thing to try. And you know what? It's something so simple and the bag is so cheap that you could try this and see if it works for you, if you can tolerate allulose.
And you have a liquid form at home that you're probably going to be using. So.
I have a liquid form. It comes in a little bottle. I'm just going to be adding it into my coffee and maybe even into my drink before I have my one meal of the day. That's the other thing that we're going to like, you know, we're probably going to be eating around the same that we normally do. We eat a lot of the same repeat stuff. You know, we do a lot of crazy stuff on our channel, but most of the time we have like our favorites that we eat all the time.
Protein and veg.
So we're probably going to be eating meals like that, jotting down how our hunger feels, if we think about food a lot, and if we lose weight. We're back on the whole trying to lock in.
Lock in through the entire year.
Right. We did the lock in before.
And it did help.
It did help. I think I lost like 16 or 17 pounds trying all these different things. And that's what we always say on our channel is that you don't even need to be keto. Right. You could be doing whatever, but changing it up, it makes you more mindful of what you're doing for like 5 days or 7 days. And so maybe that will get the scale moving again. You have to keep on kind of tricking your body in order to see the scale start moving after a certain point. Right. So that is what we are doing, and it is starting now. Bye. Well, it's just going to begin. Oops. Probably measure this. Okay, I'm having breakfast for dinner today because I need to get rid of some eggs that are gonna go bad if I don't eat them. This is some electrolytes almond, and I'm gonna put my allulose in here before I eat. 3 eggs. This is my one meal of the day. It's a pretty decent one meal of the day. Some sausage patties and 3 eggs, scrambled.
I'm gonna do a little shot for dinner. Went down the wrong tube. We ordered some Mediterranean food. I'll show you that in a little bit when it comes. So I got the combo, and there was no way not to add rice, which is kind of ridiculous, but I'm just gonna probably not eat that. And it came with a salad and baba ganoush. So I just eat the meat, the salad, and that. My mom actually made some of these soy eggs, and I spilled the soy sauce out of them. Take it off. I don't know if you guys have ever tried soy marinated eggs. They are so good. Definitely keto. Let me bite one. Thank you. Go away. It's been 7 days of this experiment. We've been drinking it once in the morning with our coffee and then once before a meal. Sarah? I like this challenge substantially more than other ones that required me to eat odd things like sardines or chug apple cider vinegar. It was very easy to do because it's just adding it a couple times a day. Like adding into my coffee everyday dose, it was super simple and easy. And then, yeah, it was not unpleasant, I guess. Like apple cider vinegar. Right, which I think I got used to that, but it was still something that I'm like, I had to will myself to do. Where this was just like simple. We took a chart of our, look at how my paper looked. So what we did was we took down and just kind of like based on how we feel, our hunger, if we lost weight, and our food noise. I found out that it did help my hunger. Right. In the beginning, I would say by the time like our one meal a day is eaten, I am hungry. Okay. Right. I'm very rarely hungry before 12 p.m., but by 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm starting to get ravenous, right? Yeah. So in the beginning, days 1 and 2, I felt like I was just as ravenous. Right. But by days 3, 4, it was slightly dampened. Yeah. I agree.
As far as food noise, I feel like it was pretty much the same. I've been pretty good about that. Like, I haven't been really craving all that much. And so it was like out of 10 being like you're out of control with like how much you're thinking about food, I was at like a low level even before I started. So I don't know if that really affected it all that much, but I do believe that there is like a component to doing something like the placebo effect where you are doing something so you're like aware that you're trying to attempt to have less food noise, so maybe that works.
I had similar results. I didn't notice much difference on day 1, but according to my graph, I slightly had less hunger. Food noise, it was pretty much a 5 all the way down, and then it decreased slightly on day 6 and 7. You know, when you have one meal a day, there's food noise sometimes because you're like thinking, what is that one meal going to be? Like, there's a lot of planning there. So I do feel like it did help a little bit with overall hunger and food noise.
I would say though, I have less food noise now with one meal a day than I can't imagine having to think and plan out 3 individual meals a day. Like, that just makes you think about food all day. Shopping for food, preparing food for 3 separate meals. It's so much more thinking about food. Like, you wake up and you go, I need to have breakfast. We're not like that anymore. So if you guys are thinking about trying 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day, try it and see if it just like makes your life simpler. And then you can eat more lavishly during your 1 meal. Sarah and I barely count what we're eating during our 1 meal. Sometimes we do eat 2 meals. We're not like militant about anything, but I'm just saying, like, overall, I have always felt better just having like 1 meal a day, maybe 2. So that's like the way that we operate here on our channel. As far as weight goes, I didn't really have much movement until like the middle of the week. So I did end up losing 0.5 pounds. And then the next day I gained that back. So whatever. And then the next day I didn't lose anything. And then on day 7, which was yesterday, I lost 1 pound. So I would say 1 pound. You know, this is the other thing I will say. We are close to our normal BMI weight, right? 5 pounds off, 10 pounds off of being technically in that normal range. It's really hard to lose weight when you're like close to that. So every pound that you lose impacts more. Yeah, it impacts you more. And you feel better every pound that you lose. So I'm gonna say that 1 pound in a week is right on schedule. It's more than I expected. And for just doing this, I think that it's worth doing.
I had a similar, sorry, I have something in my eye. I had a similar type of thing happen to me. I, lost 0.5 and I gained 1 pound. Love that, You're like, woo! And then you get on the scale the next day and it's up 1 pound and you're like, kick the scale, And then I lost 0.5 and then I lost another 0.5. So I was down half a pound. It's not nothing. It's something, That's our honest take in regards to this thing. Did we think that it worked? I mean, I think it did help with overall hunger. I don't know. But is it also that we're being more aware of things? It's possibly not for nothing. I don't know. It could mean that it's working. I do think that rat study that we talked about earlier was for like 12 weeks or something. The rat, I guess, lost 1 pound in 12 weeks, which is a lot for a little rat, no? We just realized that it was like the subject was a rat like afterward. And we're like, that's, we were like 1 pound or 2 pound weight loss, that's nothing. But there was, they lost weight during the trial of them having it. So if you can tolerate allulose, give this a try. And if you can't tolerate, give one of the other things that we've done a try. The yerba mate tea, the patch, apple cider vinegar. These are all things that you can do that are easy lift. It's not a huge lifestyle change. And maybe it will make you more aware of your hunger, make you more aware of what you're eating over that 7 days, and you're finally going to get to see the scale move. Yeah, because Emily and I believe that a lot of weight loss in this journey is mental anyway. So staying aware and tracking things and keeping things top of mind is part of the process. If you guys want to see another challenge that we did, you can click on the video on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.
You want to keep my paper?
No.